Sound Production. Sound Production.
What is going on? How y'all guys doing? Welcome to another edition of Joel's News and Views, also Crime News. If it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor, go ahead on, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell up top. Before I get into some of the updates for this morning news, I want to tell everybody last night, thank you for showing us support. We had a good stream. We've been getting a pretty good traction of everybody supporting the broadcast with Mr. Black Conservative Perspective, also known to me as Mr. Greg Foreman. Great show. I mean, it was just fantastic. If you guys want to check up on it, catch up on it, it's already out. He should be putting it also in his page as well and things of that nature. So anyway, like I said before, I told you guys that I would keep y'all an update on what is going on with this situation out here in San Jose. It's a lot, okay? It's a lot to talk about this morning, to catch up. I know a lot of people are just waking up and is not understanding all that's going on. But I am going to reach out here and tell you guys everything that I have uncovered about this guy, Samuel Cassidy. And let me tell you, he was a individual that was screaming for help. So if you did not know this or have not had any idea, there was a guy yesterday, Samuel Cassidy, who went up here and had a notorious shooting with law at the local rail yard, killed 8 people. Actually, now up to 9 people because the 9th person died last night, and he committed suicide. Now, what's even more crazier is that this man had been crying for help for a while. So I'm going to give y'all the updated story of what has happened, what is being said, and what some of the people are saying about him, including his ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, all of this on this broadcast. And then I'll give you my thoughts like I normally do about what I think about this whole situation and what Biden administration are trying to paint the picture as about the situation. So a new detail emerged a day after the San Jose shooting that ultimately claimed the lives of 9 victims. Santa Clara County Sheriff Lori Smith described Thursday morning how deputies and police officers arrived at the light rail facility within moments of the first 911 calls coming through. Smith said the call came out about the shots fired at the Valley Transportation Authority at 6:34 a.m. Wednesday, and a fire at the suspected gunman's home 8 miles away was reported at 6:37 a.m. So he must have had some way to set it or someone else to do it. What we're operating under now, and I'm not sure this isn't going to change, is that he set some kind of device to go off at a certain time, probably to coincide with his shooting, Smith said during an appearance Thursday morning on NBC's Today. She clarified that as of right now, investigators do not believe there is more than one suspect. Smith also offered an explanation as how the gunman managed to fatally shoot 9 people so quickly, as the headquarters for the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Office is located across from the VTA facility. I think he was very deliberate, very fast. He knew where employees would be. Smith said there were deceased in 2 separate buildings, which we believe he went from building to building, she added. We were there just within a few minutes, but I really credit the officers from San Jose Police Department and the Sheriff's Office deputies who confronted the suspect very quickly, Smith continued. And when they confronted the suspect, he took his own life. The suspect is identified by authorities as VTA employee Samuel James Cassidy, 57, but they call him Sam for short. He had 2 semi-automatic handguns and 11 loaded magazines on his person at the time of the shooting. Smith said law enforcement dogs brought into the shooting scene alerted on what to believe the gunman's locker, and in it were materials for bomb detonator cords, the precursor to an explosive, she said. Investigators do not have information whether Cassidy targeted certain employees. Smith said she said investigators are still looking into possible motives, adding what in the world could possibly prompt someone to take this kind of action. We don't know at this point. Smith said rounds of ammunition were also found in the gunman's home. Now, Fox 2 of the Bay Area, which is local to the San Jose area, previously reported that gasoline and ammunition were found inside the residence. Security camera footage showed Cassidy around 5:45 a.m., less than an hour before the massacre, leaving home wearing a blue jumpsuit and tossing a black duffel bag into the white pickup truck, according to the station. Now, Cassidy has worked for VTA since at least 2012, and according to the public payroll and pension database, Transparent California, first as a mechanic from 2012 to 2014, then as someone who maintained substations. His ex-wife said he had talked about killing people at work more than a decade ago. I never believed him, and it never happened until now, Cecilia Nelms told the Associated Press on Wednesday. She said he used to come home from work resentful and angry over what he perceived as unfair assignments. He could dwell on things, she said. The two divorced in 2005, and she hadn't been in touch with Cassidy for about 13 years, Nim said. In court documents, an ex-girlfriend described Cassidy as volatile and violent with major mood swings. Because of the bipolar disorder that became worse when he drank heavily several times while he was drunk, Cassidy forced himself on her sexually despite her refusals, pinning her arm with his body weight, the woman alleged in 2009. Sworn statement filed after Cassidy had sought a restraining order against her. The documents were obtained by the San Francisco Chronicle and other media outlets. A total of 10 people were left dead Wednesday, including the gunman. So we had 10, including the gunman. Now, the Santa Clara office of the medical examiner coroner initially, they identified the 8 victims, and I'm going to read their names to them. And again, rest in peace to the 8 victims. If I can't pronounce the name, I'm just going to try to do the best I can without demolishing it. Paul De La Cruz Mega, 42. Jeep Sign, 36. Adrian Baliza, 29. Jose De Jesus Hernandez, 35. Timothy Michael Romo, 49. Michael Joseph Runametin, 40. Adavaha Algamadan, 63. And Lars Kelper Lane, 63. A night shooting victim died after being transported to a hospital, according to the reports. That person was Alex Ward Fritch, 49, who died at Santa Clara Valley Medical Center, Fox 2 of the Bay Area reported. Sign had worked as a light rail train driver for 8 or 9 years and had a wife, 2 small kids, and many family members, said his cousins back in Sign. We heard that he chose the people to shoot, but I don't know why they choose him because he had nothing to do with him, he said. San Jose City Councilman Raul Peralez said Radometkin was a close friend. There are no words to describe the heartache we are feeling right now, especially for his family. We wrote on Facebook. 8 families are feeling the same sense of loss tonight, and our entire community is mourning as well. Now, here's another thing about this guy that is also crazy. He also had this switch to be able to ignite a fire at his house as soon as the massacre started. So this man, he really was a very disturbed individual. Guys, this is why I tell people over and over again, mental health is real. I'm being serious at this point. Mental health is real, man. Like if someone keeps telling you that they're very angry, that you want to, you know what I'm saying, act to the point that you want to rip somebody's head off, you're always talking about violence, you better watch that person. That is not a good look. And I personally believe that this man here had been pushed to the brink. I don't know who pushed him. I don't know what pushed him, but this is a whole lot of mental health and stress that apply to this situation. Now we got families that lost their loved ones. They're not going to be able to hold them, to embrace them, or be with them. So this is so bad. Not to mention there were signs that he was violent based upon the reports that him and his girlfriend, or he had made, his girlfriend had made against him. So this is just a very bad situation. It really is. It really is. So I just need y'all guys to get in the comment section, please, and just tell me, do you think that, again, before I say that, but still we have Biden who is still pushing to regulate guns. I meant to say that before I got out. So to me, I don't think that's the right answer. I think the real answer is mental health, because again, a lot of this that is going on around in the US are people with a lot of mental health problems that nobody wants to address. Everybody wants to sweep it under the rug and blame it on gun, and it's not the guns. Because guess what? If you take away the guns, they're going to find another means to hurt people. Knives, whatever. What you going to do, ban the knives too? Nobody can't even cut steak anymore? I mean, I'm just saying, like, this is a mental health issue. A lot of issues like this, when people just go off the deep end, buy a bunch of guns and shoot up people. I've been talking about shooting up people and hurting people like that for a long period of time. That is a mental health issue. You cannot deny it. And that's just facts. But anyway, I need y'all to get in the comment section. Just tell me what y'all think. Y'all still think this is a mental health issue? This man was suffering for a long period of time and went untreated? Or do you actually think it's a gun problem? That he actually was one of the many people in the US of A right now that just can't control themselves when they get a gun. All right, y'all. Thank y'all very much for your time. Love you guys. Please like, share, subscribe. I am out.